Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Benedict Construction. When it comes to custom remodeling jobs, I mean really reinventing your existing home, no one can compete with Benedict Construction. They'll turn your home into your dream home, just as they did with this totally reworked kitchen. Before, after. Pretty nice. Benedict Construction. You see their work every Sunday right here on our set. And speaking of our set, we come back and we tell you that the Big 12 is having issues, so that's led people to say, Oklahoma could wind up in the SEC. And the thing is, if you go back to 2011, when Mike Slive was trying to get two teams for the conference, talked to Texas A&M, flew to Norman, Oklahoma, met with Oklahoma. Now, that didn't happen. It became Missouri instead of Oklahoma the next year. But Oklahoma was interested in chatting with the SEC at least. Here's the thing. Over at the big board, the Benedict Construction big board over there, Chuck Cavallera stands, and we got three options. You four guys are going to play the role of new SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. As a fan, I don't think anybody here wants to see it expand. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Correct.
Okay. That's not why we're judging it. We're looking as businessmen. All right? This is about millions of dollars. If you're the SEC Commissioner, do you, A, go big, try to land Oklahoma, and then stand pat? 15 teams, you can still play an eight-game SEC schedule, still work out nice and neat. Do you go to 15 and stay there with Oklahoma? Or do you go very big and say, yep, we're going all the way to 16, makes more sense. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, we know T. Boone Pickens will try and drag the Cowboys wherever the Sooners go. Or do you sit tight? Don't move, way to go, Chuck, don't move, and do you risk the Big Ten making the big bank? Because and not only do you risk them making money, they, like Maryland, they start creeping further and further south and expanding their base. What do you do, Chuck Cavallera? Are you going big? Are you going very big? Or are you sitting tight and risking the Big Ten passing you cash?
Well, as Greg Sankey, obviously, Oklahoma is tempting for a lot of reasons, but I don't like that. I know you can do it with 15. For right now, John, I'm going to sit tight right here and keep it at 14 and just see how things play out.
Okay, you're going to risk the Big Ten. Big Ten's already ahead of you a little bit in cash, but that showed up well on the board. You're giving me a look. All right, he broke my pen. Another. Your thoughts, guys? I mean, the Big Ten's already passed you money-wise. They could really blow by you if they grabbed an Oklahoma, you would think.
Go very big.
Really?
Yeah. I think if you're going to do this, I mean, the SEC as I knew it and grew up with as a kid is long gone. If you're going to do this and it's become a money game, look how much the new money in the SEC network is helping the schools. So if you're going to do it, go very big, go two more schools, and then bring two of the more traditional SEC schools over to the east, where Tennessee is competing against people that you've already seen. And the West basically becomes, okay, who are these guys? But I would go, if I'm going to do it, go very big.
All right, he says go very big. What do you guys, Mike Strange?
I sit tight. If I guess Oklahoma City and Tulsa are nice markets, but I don't think they're game changers. If the Big Ten gets them and they're making more money than you, that's not taking money away from you. I think the SEC network is doing fine the way it is right now. I sit tight.
See, I think eventually it does take money away from you.
Well, there's only so many dollars in the television field, but I think where it would, some schools, there are very few of them, but some schools have enough national weight that it overdoes, it means more than even the television markets. Oklahoma might be that kind of brand that whoever Oklahoma plays in the SEC gets more eyes, but you're right, those aren't game-changing television markets. Josh, what do you do?
I'm SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey. I'm going as big as I can, and I'm going to try to add to 16 and get two more and get more money for my conference. It's a professional sport at this point that is played by amateur athletes, but he's in a businessman position. Greg Sankey is, so get as much money as you can. They would help with that.
I go with D. None of you guys said it. No, first I would call Mike Slive and say, look, you knew what you were doing. What would you do? I would run a lot of studies. As a fan, I would say sit tight. But as a businessman, if I thought I could get two huge brands like Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State isn't a bad brand, but if you could get Oklahoma, and I think you go there. But what you've seen from the SEC in the past is they have not been afraid of taking risk, and it's paid for them. Whether it was nobody thought Arkansas and South Carolina would help the league. It did. Going to the SEC championship game, well, that's crazy. It wasn't. Now everybody does it. Going to 14, that'll ruin the league. It hasn't. So if I'm the SEC, I would rather be bold than be risk averse and let the Big Ten pass me. So I would go very big. So there we go. We got 3 for go very big, 2 say sit tight.
And
those-
the last thing I would say, that if you expand, would it have to be Oklahoma and Oklahoma State?
Well, that's
what
who's
if
in
you
the
could
news,
get like
Chuck,
a North
so-
Carolina and Florida State?
Okay, since that's not in the news and not even a possibility, we're not putting that up there today. When that rumor starts, then we'll bring it up. Chuck,
Well, you went D, John.
Well, I was thinking Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'll bring in the, yeah. Okay. It's the Chuck Cavallari Show. All right, when we come back, Dave Serrano. Things aren't looking good for Dave. Are things ever going to look good for Tennessee baseball? We'll discuss. Come on back.